Alright, kule video le ngifuna sichecke ama-word arrangements, but kula ma-word arrangements they are repeated letters, and sifuna ukubona ukuthi how many word arrangements can we make from a specific word if that word has repeated letters, right? For example, consider the word letter. Right, so legama leli linama letters I2 lawa repeated, which is E and also T. T is also repeated, right? So meaning if senza ama word arrangement singathatha lo E lo simlethe ngapha and then lo L eze ngapha, so le word leni izothi eltar. Yeah, so it's a different word arrangement, right? But what if siswitcha lo T nalo T lo T eze ngapha and lo T ayingale? Will there be a difference? So the answer is no, still kuzobe letter, so it's not a different arrangement, right? Unless if lo T lo sim treated differently from this T, unless it is stated that T1 and T2 are different. But if it's just T and T is the same, if you swap those two, then there is no difference. Same thing applies if you swap E and E, so there is no difference unless they are treated as different letters. So how do we deal with repetition in this case? So if you want to arrange this word and the question says how many word arrangements can you get from these letters, how many word arrangement, as in how many 6 letter arrangement, 1 2 3 4 5 6, yeah. So we have 6 spaces, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and from this letter, so let's say there is no repetition, so you cannot repeat a letter. So for the first option you have 6 options, right? And for the second option, if there is no repetition, then you have 5 letters, right? You cannot repeat the letter. Then you have 4, you have 3, you have 2, then you have 1. So this is the same as 6 factorial, right? But if E1 and E2 are treated as different and T1 and T2 are treated as different, then it means we'd have 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, which is the same as 6 factorial, right? But then what if lo E wokuqala uyafana lo E wes2, lo E wokuqala ufana lo E wes2, right? And lo T wokuqala uyafana lo T wes2, so there's no difference, right? So siyenza kanjani la? So all right, the first answer, it was for if T1 and T2 are different, né? And E1 and E2 are different, so we treat them as different letters, our fan. But then in this case, what if I fan? If the repeated letters are the exact same letters, so into esiyenzayo la, so arrange wonke lamagama first, then that would be 6 factorial. But udila kanjani nale repetition ela? You divide by the repetition. In this case, sino E or repeated by 2, so it means you have to divide by 2 factorial. We divide by factorial yale letter repeated, we repeat 2 factorial, and then we still have another one which is t, and repeat by 2, then that is 2 factorial, right, if the letters are treated as the same. All right, so another example, consider the word needed. So if all the letters are different, then it means the arrangements would be 6 factorial, 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? Because it's number letters I6 la. And for the first option we have 6, for the second one we have 5, and then 4, because we cannot repeat, right? No repetition is allowed. 3, 2, 1. So that is 6 factorial, right? If these letters are treated as different, which is E1, E2, E3, no, E3, okay, and then D1 and D2. So the repeated letters are different. But then what if the repeated letters are exactly the same? So it means that would be 6 factorial, but we divide by the repeating letters, the factorial of the repeating letters. So lo ilo repeated by 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 factorial. And then there's another one which is D repeated by 2. So now answer yakho, if the letters are the same. All right, so last example, consider the word mathematics. Right, consider the word mathematics. Ligama lelina 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 letters. And question number 18, how many ways can you arrange this word if all the letters are different? If all the letters are different, then that would be 11 factorial. But in how many ways can you arrange this if the repeated letters are the same? So in this case, T no T the same. No swap about T, it won't give you a difference. A no A repeatile, M no M repeatile. And I think, yeah, that's it. So it means so arrange a 11 factorial. And how do you deal with repetition? You divide by the factorial of that repetition. So a repeater color M, a repeater by 2. So there is 2 factorial. And A, we are repeater foot now by 2. Divide by 2 factorial. Upper pants you multiply. Yeah. And then T, we are repeater now by 2 factorial. And then H does not repeat. E does not repeat. M already says yenzile. A already says yenzile. T already says yenzile. I does not repeat. C does not repeat. And S does not repeat. So now answer yakho. So dealing with repetition, you divide by that repetition if the letters which are repeated are exactly the same.